First startup in H22. What up, YouTube? So today is going to be part 13 of the Honda Civic Jdm h22 build, and today we're going to be working on trying to get this car started. First things first is we got to get the fuel system on here. As you can see, we got our AEM fuel pump upgrade, K-tune fuel regulator with inline fuel filter, and then these are all the fittings we're going to be using. And then this is our 6AN braided line. We also got our CRV bracket for our throttle cable, so hopefully that'll work stock. If not, we're gonna have to figure out what throttle cable works on here. Other than that, we gotta ground the engine and just make sure everything's good, I guess, on fuel. I still gotta ground my engine harness as well over here. Couple grounds and make sure all my wiring is straight, and I think we should be able to start the car. I gotta check the spark plugs first though, because I gotta make sure they have to be a certain type of spark plug. I'll let you know when after I get the fuel system done if it's the right one, and I'll show you exactly what spark plug if it isn't. Other than that, I'm gonna start installing the fuel regulator so we can start marking up our lines, so I can start cutting these and getting it installed. So how we're gonna pretty much run it, we're gonna run it like factory. So we're just gonna run the filter right here, and then it's gonna come feed right here, and then it's gonna dump right back like stock B series pretty much. So pretty easy setup. Like I said, hopefully after this video we can get this car started, and then pretty much get everything wrapped up and finished. And then we've still got to figure out the rear disc brake problem. Hopefully I can get the torch and loosen those up. I just been spraying penetration fluid on it, so it kind of breaks it down. But I'm gonna go ahead and start getting this regulator installed, and then we'll come back and start showing you how I'm gonna run the lines and the field fittings. Alright, so we're back now, and I'm gonna show you what I did so far. So we got our return fitting on here, we got our feed, we got our feed right here. We just have to get another fitting that actually is a 6N to a 6N. This is just straight to the actual braided line, so we can't use this fitting right here. I'm gonna have to go pick that up. Other than that though, I can still start making the lines. So I'm gonna start with this one. Just measure this from here to there, and then measure from here to here, and we'll get those lines going, and then we'll come back and start doing the fuel injectors and tightening those down and changing out the fuel injector clips to the Type S. And after that we'll come and start messing with the throttle cable and bracket. So I'm gonna go ahead and knock out those lines and we'll come back. Alright, so pretty much got my lines ran and ready. I just got to go get that other fitting, and then we can complete that with the fuel filter. But right now I got the h22 injectors off right now, and I'm gonna get ready to install the Type S injectors, and then I'm gonna install the new clips as well so we can get these clipped up and ready. And then I'm also going to install the bracket for the throttle cable, and we're gonna see if this throttle cable works. If it does, then I'll take this back off, spray paint it black, and then we should be ready to start with the fuel pump after that. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this all knocked out, and then we'll come back and install the fuel pump. Alright, so got the fuel rail back on with the Type S injectors and injector clips. So I tucked them when they're all ready to go. I tried the throttle cable on here. It was a little bit too short, so I am gonna have to switch that out. Other than that, I'm gonna probably start going to the fuel pump since that's the last thing we really need for fuel in that fitting. And then after that, I believe we could go for the start. Oh, I still got to ground the transmission and stuff too. So I'm gonna ground the transmission, ground the engine harness, go over everything, and then we'll get to the fuel pump. And then after that, which will probably be the next day, I'll have that fitting, and we should be able to go for a startup. So I'm gonna go ahead and start knocking out this pump, and then we'll come back and see what we got to do next. Alright, so now we're back, and I got my fuel fitting on there, so all the lines are ran now, as you can see. So I got my return here, and then I got my feed right here at the bottom. That's gonna feed to the fuel filter, and it goes in, and then this is the out. It's gonna regulate, and then it's gonna come through to the fuel rail, and then just return just like that. So that's pretty much it on how I'm doing the fuel system on here. I'm also getting to the fuel pump right now, so got our AEM fuel pump that we're gonna install right now. I just gotta bolt it down, and then I gotta get my transmission ground, and then I believe I can go for a start. Oh, I still gotta put the dipstick in too. A couple more things, and then I think I would be able to start this car hopefully. So I'm gonna install the pump right now. We're gonna get the dipstick on here, and oh, we still got some wiring right here. So this wire was actually just hanging down here, so I had to unravel the harness to see where it's going. So it's part of one of the grounds right here. So I'm gonna redo that wire and get everything taped back up again, and then after that we should be able to go for the start. Alright, so we're back now, and like 10 hours of diagnostics later, this car was giving me a lot of trouble. First, I start off with the fuel system. So unfortunately I couldn't run it how I was running it and actually letting it bleed out through right here for a return. It wasn't actually regulating, so I had to actually block it from right here and then put the return at the bottom. So I had to go get another fitting. That kind of took a couple days, and I had to redo the line. So that's all finished up. I finished grounding everything as far as wrapping up that. I got my intake air temperature sensor rewired. So this is a K series sensor instead of the B series one, or the H series one. This is what the original one looks like, the plug. So I didn't feel like cutting into the manifold or anything. I looked kind of tacky, so I actually got the adapter kit on the way, and it's pretty much gonna just drill, and then you can pretty much screw it onto the intake, kind of like the 96 to 2000 or the RSX, pretty much same thing. Either way, the intake air temperature sensor is going to be on the actual intake instead of the manifold. Idle air control valve, we're probably just going to delete as far as from the ECU. So that'll probably be when we're doing our tuning and everything. Another problem I want to show you guys I had from what I thought was right, which was wrong, was these two wires that I cut. So these two red ones that I cut earlier in the video, yeah, that was wrong. I did that wrong, so just put those back if you did cut those. So if you didn't, don't touch them at all. Other than that, pretty much should be ready to start. Like I said, all the injectors are all done, all fuel systems ready, and I got another battery because the other one just kept dying out. Now with the coil packs, this actually should start up way faster than it did before with just the distributor. I mean, they have direct coils on them, so it should be instant spark. Yeah, see if this thing starts. I'm gonna attach a relay real fast. so the audio control valve is probably shutting it off, but it just started right up and everything. So just got to get to that pretty much. I still got a couple more things to do. I did put the new bumper on and fenders, so it does look a lot better. But other than that, it should be ready. Besides, I got to get the exhaust on here and then just do a couple little things. We got to bleed the coolant system, and then I want to go through all the wiring, make sure everything's good, wrap everything up, and then hopefully we can get this thing on the street very soon. If you haven't, like, share, subscribe, comment, let me know what you guys think. I'll see you guys on the next video.